Hello, Keith Rucker here at VintageMachinery.org. Guys, today I want to put another plug in for this ArnFest South event that we've got coming up here at the end of April in 2025. I mentioned this a little bit before, but we've got a lot more of the details hashed out now, and I just want to kind of make sure it's staying out there, people are aware of it, and get as many people coming to this event as possible. So, again, April 25th and 26th at the Georgia Museum of Agriculture in Tifton, Georgia. We're on I-75, about an hour north of the Florida line, about 2.5, 3 hours south of Atlanta area, down in South Georgia is where the event will be held at. This will be the first ArnFest South. ArnFest has been going on for nearly 20 years, but we've always done it up at the Illinois Railway Museum outside of Chicago, Illinois area. This year we decided to do a spring event. That's always a fall event. We were looking at doing a spring event down south to give people down south who may not want to travel that far north an opportunity to participate in an ArnFest event. I'm really looking forward to this. It's kind of right here in my hometown. You guys that watch my channel, you've seen me do a lot of stuff out at the Georgia Museum of Agriculture. Get a lot of people saying they want to come by and visit it sometime. Here is your chance to come look at the museum, see what's going on out there, and also get to attend an ArnFest event that's really tailored toward people who are interested in, shop type stuff, working in woodworking, metalworking, all those kinds of things, as well as steam engines and just historic ways of doing things. Again, really looking forward to this. So if you're interested in coming, I need for you to get registered for it as soon as possible. I've had a lot of people that said they're coming, but we haven't had a lot of people that said they're coming actually go to the site and register so that we got an official notification that you're coming and we can really prepare for this. It's real important that we get people registered early because it gives us a head count. It lets us know how many people to come, how many to expect for, and just eat things like getting food for the meals and all that. We got to know, and we got to know ahead of time. So if you are coming to this event, please, please, please go and register. You can register at arnfest.com. That's ARNFEST.com. That's where all the information on the site is at, and you can get registered there and let us know that you are coming. Now, since I've done the last video, we have been putting together kind of a schedule of the events that are going to be going on. I mentioned a few things in the previous video. Some of this stuff is a little bit more solid now. I will say that this is still a draft. We're still working on it. We're probably still going to be adding stuff to this between now and then. Some things may change around a little bit, but as of today, this is kind of what we got going on, just so you'll kind of know. So first off, it does officially start at 8 a.m. on Friday morning, April 25th. Now, I know some people are going to be coming in on Thursday afternoon. We're not really doing anything official out at the museum on Thursday, although we will be out there kind of getting some things set up. If you want to stop by on Thursday afternoon, that's fine. We really won't have access to the building where we're going to be getting set up until probably around 2:30, 3 o'clock that afternoon. But there will be a few of us out there kind of getting some things set up. And if you want to show up, that's fine. We will probably do some type of dinner that evening. It's kind of an optional thing. You just show up and we'll all have dinner together somewhere if anybody's interested in doing that, or you can be totally on your own. But at 8 a.m. on Friday morning, that is when things really kind of do kick off. We will start registration at 8 a.m. You can get registered, get your name badges, make sure everything's all good, get your credentials to get in and out of the museum, everything else. There will be some signs there kind of pointing to where the ArnFest event's going to be at. When you come to the museum, you go to the country store and buy your tickets there. We're going to actually be coming around the big parking lot and coming in back there. We're going to be, instead of having to go through the main gates, we're going to be working out of the big parking lot that's normally not where people are going on most days of the week. But we'll have signs pointing you in the right direction. On that Friday at 9:30 a.m., we are planning a tour of what the museum calls the Variety Works. This is a steam-powered, line shaft-driven shop. It's woodworking equipment in there that we have set up and that we're doing, woodworking. There's all kinds of really old, cool, line shaft-driven machinery in there. Most of it I actually had the opportunity to restore years ago, some of it decades ago, and that's been kind of a long-term project of mine out at the museum, kind of keeping that space up and going. And I don't think I've ever done a video of that area out there. That's something I probably need to do at some point in time because it's really cool. and I really enjoy playing around out there. I'm going to actually give that tour myself because I know about the machines. Like I said, I did pretty much all that. I actually did the research on that building back when I was a college student, 30-something years ago, when they were actually putting it together. So it has been a very long-term project of mine. But we're going to be doing a tour of that between 9:30 and 10:30 that morning. At 10:30, kind of right behind the Variety Works, David King from the Georgia Museum of Agriculture is going to be doing a demonstration on barrel making. They've got a little barrel making shop there, what they call their Cooper shed. It's kind of part of the turpentine steel complex, where they actually have a wood-fired turpentine steel that they make turpentine, turn out rosin and all that, just like they did back in the day. It was a huge industry down south, and the museum does keep that alive. They only fire the turpentine steel one Saturday out of the year. There's a lot of work, a lot of things that go on in that. We won't be actually running the steel, but David's going to show the process of making wooden barrels, and he's also just going to talk about the turpentine steel and kind of let you know a little bit about the turpentining industry and so forth. That's between 10:30 and 11:30. Lunch will be on your own that day. You can either grab a sandwich there at the museum, or you can go off-site to one of the many restaurants in the area and grab some lunch and come back. At 1:30 p.m., right now we have Jim Bollinger from Do Right Fabrication that is planning on doing a TIG welding basics class. This is going to be more of just a lecture demonstration on how to do TIG welding. There's a lot of really technical information. If TIG welding is something you're interested in, this is a really good class to learn the basics. It's not going to be a hands-on. We just don't have enough room and enough power out there, honestly, to set up TIG welders for everybody to practice and do all that. But Jim will be doing some demonstrations and kind of talking to you about TIG welding. Jim is an instructor, does this for Lincoln Electric. He goes around to trade shows and stuff and does this all the time. He's really good at it. And if you're interested in TIG welding, want to learn about it, great opportunity. We're working on a couple of other classes and demos and stuff for the afternoon on Friday. In fact, if you're planning on coming and you want to put on a demo or something, send me an email. There's my email address right down there. Send me an email and let me know, or if you even got a suggestion for a class or a demonstration, we'll see what we can pull together. On Saturday, which is really kind of the big day of the event, I guess you would say, we're going to open the gates at 7:30 a.m. and we're going to be coming in and having our morning swap meet there in the big parking lot, kind of adjacent to the area that we're going to be working in. Now, the swap meet is a really good opportunity to pick up some tools and machinery, potentially whatever. It's also a good opportunity if you got anything you want to sell that's kind of tool related, machine related, whatever, you can bring it out and you can set up a little table or off the bed of your truck, or if you want to set up a full-blown area, it really just however much stuff you want to bring and set up, you are welcome to do that. If you are registered for the event, you can set up as a vendor. Now, we are asking people to let us know if they're planning on being a vendor so that we can kind of make sure we have the area set up. There'll probably be assigned areas, but we'll work with you however we can to get you the space that you need depending on what you're planning on doing. But really great opportunity. I'll tell you guys that I've been kind of doing a shop clean out lately, coming through here and finding excess stuff that I have or duplicates, things that I'm just never going to use, and a lot of really good stuff. And I'm planning on taking it all out there and hoping to unload a lot of stuff. And I'm planning on trying to make things very economical because I need the room here in my shop more than I need a bunch of stuff taking up room that I don't really need. So, and that's the way a lot of the stuff here is. I've gotten some really good deals at these ArnFest swap meets in the past because a lot of people are kind of the same thing. They're kind of cleaning out their shop. And you know what they say, one man's junk is another man's treasure. Stuff I'm bringing out there, some really good stuff. And again, I'm hoping to kind of keep the prices affordable so that people can pick up some things and take them home and be able to use them. And great opportunity for you to either sell some stuff, buy some stuff, or both. So the swap meet, we'll be running the swap meet till probably about 10 o'clock that morning. Some people say set up longer than that if you want to come in later, but we kind of do it in the morning. That then gives people time to go on and do the activities for the day. Now for the classes and demonstrations that we got lined up, first off, the museum will be doing steam train rides all day long. So they'll have the steam locomotive running, and you can just go down to the train depot and catch a ride on there. It'll be just kind of running all day. So that's kind of your admission to ArnFest includes admission to the museum. So you'll have access to that. They will also be doing demonstrating the steam-powered sawmill that day. They're going to have it fired up and be sawing lumber. So again, you can go by there and see that. That's really cool if you've never seen the steam-powered sawmill operating. This is a sawmill that was made in the 1890s and is still pretty much running like it was back then. Very primitive to a lot of the sawmills that we have now, but also very similar and pretty darn effective. Anyway, the museum's going to be running that for us on that day. At 10 a.m., Brad Gilmer is going to be doing a demonstration on brazing cast iron over at the main area. And then at 11 o'clock that morning, Dan Warner is going to be doing a class on why does wood do that? And Dan actually has a degree in wood science from Purdue University. He's an expert in wood. He's going to be just talking about how wood moves and some things like that. If you're a woodworker, carpenter, or just interested in that, I guarantee you'll learn something from Dan because he's a great teacher. We'll have lunch provided on site that day. We're going to have some sandwich box lunches brought in, so you don't even have to leave. You can stay right there. If you do want to leave and go off site, you're welcome to do that and come back. You can come and go as you like. But we will have a lunch provided for those who are registered. And then in the afternoon, we are working on some more demos and whatever. So we got some things coming up there. Actually, we do have one big demo that afternoon that I almost forgot to mention here. Clark Easterling, Windy Hill Foundry, is going to be coming in. He's going to be setting up his little foundry setup, and he's going to be doing a start-to-finish demonstration on green sand casting. So this is how he's going to take a pattern, he will mold it up in the green sand, and then he's going to fire up his furnace and actually do a melt and a pour some type of foundry work. It's probably going to be pouring brass, I think, maybe aluminum. He's not going to do iron because it just takes some special furnaces to do that, and it's hard to do that on the road. He can, but you got to really bring a lot of stuff. The brass and the aluminum are a little bit easier, but the process is the same for all of them. So if you want to see that process, that's going to really be good. He's going to start about 1:30 and go however long it takes. And like I said, we're also planning on doing some other classes that afternoon. We just don't have them all nailed down again. Again, if you want to do a demo or have suggestions, please let us know. Also that afternoon, we'll be doing what we had called at the main ArnFest event, the Rucker's Rodeo. Basically what this is if you've got machinery that you're selling to someone or swapping or whatever, or somebody's coming to this event, you can bring it. We're going to have a forklift available on site where you can unload your trailer or car or truck, whatever, maybe not a car, but a truck or a trailer, and load it off, take it off of one, put it on another. So if you're picking something up, dropping something off, or you've got arranged for someone that's coming to the event to bring something and then bring it on up. So a lot of people take advantage of this at the other main ArnFest event. So if you do need to move some machinery around, like I said, we will have a forklift available. Probably 2,500, 3,000 pounds is kind of the maximum that we'll be able to handle out there, but that's pretty good size. Anyway, that evening at 7 p.m. at the museum, we will be having our annual or our ArnFest banquet. At this, we'll be having a raffle and silent auction going on. I will say that if you want to bring items for the silent auction to donate, it's something that you might want to just put in there for people to bid on at the silent auction. You can drop those off when you register. A lot of people bring stuff up. The money that comes off of the silent auction then basically gets reinvested back into the VintageMachinery.org website, as well as the Old Woodworking Machines discussion forum website. It helps keep the IT costs and the web hosting and all that kind of stuff paid for, which is really what this whole event is about, is raising money to support those two sites and take care of a lot of the IT stuff. But anyway, we'll have that banquet that night, a really good time there. And then on Sunday, the museum is closed on Sunday, so we won't have any activities out at the museum on Sundays, but I am going to open up my shop here, and we're going to do an open house. This will be for people who are registered for ArnFest only. This is not for just anybody that wants to come down and do the open house. I do occasionally do some open houses, have in the past. We'll probably do them again just for anybody that wants to come, but we're really trying to keep this focused on ArnFest. So if you want to come to the open house, you need to get registered for ArnFest and really attend the whole event. Hopefully would be the ideal plan there. But from 9 to 3, it's going to be kind of a drop-in thing. You just kind of come on out whenever you want to. You can take a tour of the shop here, look around, visit with me and whoever else happens to be here. It's not really, I'm not planning on doing anything special as far as working on a project or demonstrations or anything like that. It's just a drop in, get a chance to tour the shop or whatever. I know a lot of people are going to be ready to hit the road and get back home, so it's not even going to be an all-day thing, but we will be available from 9 to 3 on that Sunday for anybody who's coming to ArnFest that wants to come by and visit the shop, because I know a lot of people, they want to come out here and see my shop as well. So we're going to be doing that on Sunday. So here's the big thing. Again, if you haven't already, if you're planning on coming or you want to come, go ahead and get registered. That's really what this whole video is about, is encouraging you to go ahead and get registered, because we need to get a head count on who is planning on coming and all the details there. You can register again at ArnFest.com. That's the website you need to go to, and there is a registration link on there. Now, the cost for full registration, which is, admission to the museum, the meals, the banquet, and everything else, it's $100 a person. Yes, I know that's high, but keep in mind, we've got a lot of expenses that we have to pay for this. Primarily, we have to rent the facilities that we're using out at the museum, so we're going to have some dedicated space and areas just for our group. We're having to pay them for that, plus we're doing the banquet, which has quite a bit of cost involved in that. So your ticket covers all of that. And yes, it also includes admission to the museum, like I mentioned before. And yes, I know that is a little bit on the high side for some people, but we're not making hardly any money off of that at all. Really, we're not. Depending on how many people show up, we may be going in the hole even there. I'm not sure. So anyway, $100 to register for the event. Hopefully, if you come for all the time, it's worth it to you to come. There is an option if you don't want to do the banquet, you can just do the activities. I think it's $70. There's also some junior passes for kids 12 and under. They give a discount there, and I think there's also an option there where you can buy an extra banquet ticket if your spouse is coming but isn't planning on hanging out at the museum all day, wants to do her own thing but wants to come to the thing, you can buy an extra banquet ticket as well. So all of that is on the registration thing, but if you are coming, please, please, please register. We will have on-site registration, but honestly, guys, on-site registration, it's difficult for us, particularly getting head counts for meals and all that. If a bunch of people show up and do on-site registration, it can get stressful for the people trying to put this thing together. So we really appreciate people who do pre-register and get registered ahead of time. So anyway, that is kind of where we're at there. Whew, that was a lot. I hope that some of you guys are going to take advantage of this, particularly the people that live in the Southeast, although we do have people that are traveling quite a distance to come here. I know we got several people who are currently registered up in the Northeast that are coming all the way down. I've had one person tell me they're coming all the way from California, although they haven't registered yet. Hint, hint, get registered. So, if you want to make the trip, absolutely. We'd love to have you. I think it's going to be a fun trip. We are planning on having more activities than what's on here, or we're hoping to have more activities than what we've mentioned here. We're just trying to get those lined up. Again, if you have ideas for demos, or if you want to do one yourself, shoot me an email, let me know. We would love to get people that are willing to share some information to do that during the event as well. That's what I got. Please come. We really want people to come out. This will be a lot of fun. If we get a big crowd, it's going to be really a lot of fun. And anyway, please get registered for it ahead of time. That's the other big thing, so that we got a good head count on how many people are coming. ArnFest.com, get registered to it. Again, any proceeds from this, the ArnFest group used to support the VintageMachinery.org website, as well as the Old Woodworking Machines, OWWM, discussion forum websites. This is what pays for all of our web hosting, all of our IT stuff, the bandwidth, everything else that we use. It adds up to quite a bit, and we've been able to pay for that through these ArnFest events. So it's really helping out the channel here, or helping out the website part of the channel, which is where all the documents are scanned, where you can go in there and download manuals and all that kind of stuff. And then if you participate over on the forums at OWWM, great place there if you're interested in old woodworking machinery specifically, although they do have a forum for metalworking there too. Really good site there as well. It supports both of those. Guys, that's what I got today. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thumbs up, comments, they help out these videos a lot. Thank you to those who support my site financially through Patreon and PayPal. And with that, guys, we're going to get out of here. We'll catch you on the next video. Again, as always, thanks for watching. And come to ArnFest.